Hi folks, here we are back on day 2 of BVE. It's absolutely buzzing out there today. If you're not coming to the show, then you should come to the show and check it out. I'm with Angus here from Tiger Technologies, and we're going to talk about storage and I guess system management of storage for post-production. So tell us about your company and what you do.
Absolutely. So Tiger makes shared storage workflow solutions, and what I would say about that is that we augment your workflow. So essentially, you can get a bunch of different storage products from a number of different companies, and they work in a variety of different ways, and most people can choose different levels of storage depending on their needs. I think what the Tiger solution does that's a little bit different and interesting is give you a project management layer and a user management layer over the top that makes a big difference to users. They're going to be using a combination in post-production of Adobe, Avid, Apple products, grading products, whether they're working on Mac or Windows or Linux. And what they want to do is be able to all work off that central storage together, but have a nice interface to be able to access their projects.
So we're talking about multi-seat post-production, for example, where you've got multiple seats of different systems wanting to access the same storage. These are these the hardware, is it software, or is it both?
Well, it's a great question, and actually we can give you whatever that you're looking for depending on your needs. So you're absolutely right that it's centralized, and most people want to be able to scale up their storage requirements depending on the size of their operations. So we've actually got a range of solutions that are going to let them do that. If you're a small shop, maybe working with just a few editors and some Macs doing creative editorial, probably you're using Final Cut or maybe Media Composer, Premiere, very popular now. You might have just a few systems connected and you want to be able to direct connect to your storage. So we offer a nice all-in-one solution that you could actually put on a desktop if you wanted. And it's very simple to configure and very easy for an artist or an editor to be able to manage themselves without having a system administrator or video engineer, this kind of thing.
Well, it's interesting because I run a small video production company. I'm relocating to Sydney in June. I'm going to be combining with another production company. We're both using standalone storage at the minute, and I'm starting to realize we're getting to a size where we need some sort of small enterprise solution that we can scale. And it sounds like this is the kind of thing that you can start, as you say, with your desktop solution. But then can you scale off the back of that?
Absolutely. It's very interesting. You can either add some storage to the existing solution that we offer that you started with, say our 1U Tiger Box system, a Tiger Box 1. You could actually add expansion chassis and grow the amount of storage that you need, and it's very simple to add that without a bunch of reformatting or erasing or anything like that. We also offer solutions that are going to work in very large enterprises. Anybody who's using, maybe 100 seats, for instance, in very large post-production companies, and they're going to have terabytes, maybe even petabytes of storage and have multiple users all connecting at the same time, we can grow to support those large installations as well. So we actually have something for everybody. What I like to say is that you can get our solutions in 5 different ways. What really we're offering is a core engine that is going to enable these workflows that we're talking about. And you can get it on a small scale for a small shop all the way up to a huge enterprise scale in 5 different packages.
Wow, sounds fascinating. So let's talk about some of the recent installs you've done. You've done some pretty big jobs here in London.
London is a place where Tiger is actually very popular, and we're very happy about the use of our solutions here in town. Very interesting install that just happened last week, as a matter of fact, was at Envy here in London. And they're using our solutions in what they call a provisioning SAN. So they're actually using it as the storage that they're going to put all of their footage into prior to editorial. It becomes a system where all of the camera rushes for the programs that they do are ingested. They're protected there on Tiger managed storage. And then using their Avid system, they're actually going to access that material, do the transcodes into the editorial codec that they're using, do their editing, and then link back to the original high-res material that's stored on the Tiger storage for their conforms and final grade. So it's a very nice workflow that they've got there. And one of the things that they've decided to do obviously when you're working on very high profile programming like that with high profile clients, risk management is very important. So they've actually created a setup where everything is quite redundant. They've actually used our high availability failover system. So we have a solution that actually has redundant server nodes, and basically what that means is if should any hardware component fail, you'll be able to immediately switch over to the next one and keep up and running. So they've taken that concept one step further, and they've actually created twice the same sort of setup and are replicating data between these two so that they always have a mirrored setup and a backup of the backup, if you will. So that's a very nice system that they've put in place.
Well, and traditionally, I worked with Envy years ago with Daniel Sasson and his team, and they were traditionally an Avid storage house, and so this is presumably, and I think the problem with Avid storage is it only takes Avid, media. Whereas it sounds like what you've got is an opportunity to kind of plug in whatever system you might be using into a kind of agnostic storage system.
Absolutely. This is one of the beauties of our system, as I mentioned, is that it works on multiple OSs and with multiple creative products all at the same time. So you could use it with Avid, you could use it with Adobe, you could use it with Apple Final Cut, you could use it with Baselight or Resolve or Autodesk products like Flame and Smoke. Any of these solutions are going to be able to use our central storage with our project store management layer on top. So everyone's accessing the same material. You can share projects easily through your facility or your studio. As you mentioned, it's easy to grow these solutions. And of course, everyone is interested in backup and archive as well. And this is an important part of the process these days. You have all these digital files coming in. You need to do the production and post-production work with these files, but then you have to figure out what you're going to do with them at the end of the production. So we offer some nice integration with third-party archive and backup systems, and we have this nice replication and tiering module which lets users easily manage their production storage. Often you're going to be working on a production and then you want to be able to free up some space and bring in your next project. So we have a very nice workflow that allows the material to be pushed off to nearline or tape storage and then actually liberate the storage on our Tiger system and make it available for a new production.
And if someone's not familiar with your organization and they're maybe used to using other storage solutions out there, how would you encourage them to come and check you out? What is it you do that's still different or special to perhaps other solutions out there?
Well, I think the thing that really sets us apart is that we offer this project store management layer as part of our base product. So whereas with other solutions, if you want to add this project management, you have to go to a third-party vendor, deal with the integration, deal with the headache of sourcing that product, and maybe not having full compatibility with all the creative apps. Project Store is open to all of these different creative apps. We include it with the product in a base form. Everybody who buys any Tiger system gets it for free. And so we're actually making your creative workflow very interesting and efficient and productive without having to go through all the extra headache of scratching your head trying to figure out what that next solution should be, adding a third-party piece of software. And again, because we support all the creative apps and you can use them simultaneously, it's a very elegant solution.
And so if anyone's here at the show, where can they find you?
Well, the best way to see what we're doing right now is to come over to the global distribution booth where we've got a couple of our units set up. We're actually showing it with Avid Media Composer, one on a Windows and one on a Mac platform, and showing the easy sharing that we've got and the Avid emulation, including full bin locking. It's really nice. You get to see the locks in the UI, so the Avid thinks that they've got Avid storage connected, and they can come over to the global booth and we'll show you a couple of different ways that we can offer you this solution.
Great, Angus, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
We'll be back very, very soon, folks.